Aloha Ohana. Mahalo for coming by again for Talk Story with your Kumu Aloha. I'm Koa, your Kumu Aloha. And today I'm with my beautiful partner, Mrs. Kekoa. How are you today, Mrs. Kekoa?
Good.
I think we're going to be talking about intimacy today in relationships and marriages. Huh?
Yes.
Intimacy.
I'm excited. This is going to be fun.
Okay. Hola kako. Let's go then.
Yes. Let's jump right in.
Yeah.
I'm going to
So what
just
you
say
got?
this first. I'm just going to start it off. Okay, we're going to be talking about intimacy. I just have to tell you, like, what I think is sexy. And a lot of women probably think the same thing, but they're not going to tell their spouse. But I'm going to say it. I think it's so sexy when you, like, do the laundry and the kitchen and, like, you do stuff with the kids.
Stop playing.
No, I'm being serious. I think you cook a meal. I think that is extremely sexy. That turns me on. And I think more men should do it. And if they did, maybe they'd get luckier. Yes, absolutely.
All that?
Absolutely. You know, wash and fold the laundry and you're good. That's just me. That to me is
sexy. Intimacy. It makes you want to get more intimate?
It makes me want to get intimate. I think it's very sexy.
I wonder how many ladies feel that way.
A lot, but they won't say it. Okay, so I will.
It's not when I'm flexing muscles and things like that.
I don't give a damn about that. Just wash my drawers and feed me a good meal and we good. That is hot. That is so hot to me.
Oh, man.
Okay, but let's get into these questions.
Well,
okay?
I got you then. I got you.
Okay.
Put your clothes away.
Yeah,
like clothes away for you.
Dried on cool.
Wink at you. Yeah. Fold the clothes.
Do all of the things.
Okay.
That's hot. Okay. What do you think is the key to maintaining intimacy in a long-term relationship?
So that one, I would say, thinking back, changes with the seasons. Huh?
Yeah.
Because in the beginning, I didn't have an opportunity to do chores and clothes and raise the kids and cook meals and stuff. So what was it then? I think it was spending time to get to know your partner. I guess what sparked intimacy then didn't spark intimacy now, right? So I think you have to constantly check in. Right. And you have to be open to have the conversations, right? First, you need the time, right? You need to set time aside to be open like that. Also, trust is an important factor to be able to be open to speaking about to your partner about intimacy and what you find attractive. Yeah, I think it's checking in. You know, things that I liked before. You know, like red lipstick you used to have.
Oh, can we not?
Right? Back in the day, I love it now.
That.
Why not? What's up?
You just ruined me though, because there's very few things you said you did not like.
Yeah.
And I used to wear red lipstick.
It was in the beginning.
And you said
like 20 years ago.
20 years ago, you said I don't like red lipstick.
I didn't like it then.
I did not wear red lipstick for all of those years because you said you did not like it, and now all of a sudden you like red lipstick.
About 6 years ago.
Okay, about 6 years.
When I was like, you just put it on because you're like, I'm gonna put it on, damn it, because I feel like it. Like this is enough, and you put it on, and I was like, oh, that's kind of hot, and it's so. I guess, So again, growth and change could challenge our assumptions, and you got to check in. And you can't do the same stuff over and over again.
No.
Right? Sometimes us dudes get locked into the cycle.
You get comfortable.
Yeah, and then we're doing the same move and the same thing. You got the same monkey lines, and you got to put some effort into getting the variety in there.
Absolutely.
Trying new approaches and checking in, right? But the other part that sometimes is difficult too, though, is like for you both to be in a space to where you both are ready to discuss that. Because that's another one too throughout the years. It's like sometimes I'm ready to discuss it and you're not, because you got a million things you're doing. And it's just like, I just did, 12 people's hair today. I'm just getting in home here. We didn't even eat yet. And you want to get serious about talking about intimacy? So,
boy, bye.
Yeah. You got to create the set and the setting.
That's
Carving out
good.
the sacred space.
Sacred space time.
Right. For you both to be able to disconnect from the crazy that's going on in the grind routines. So you actually are in the headspace to have the conversation.
Yes.
Yeah.
How many times a week do you think? And people ask, how many times a week do you think couples should be intimate? That's just a random question.
Well, there's a personal answer to that. And then there's the so it's like, is it personal or what's common? And because the thing is that there's no common standard for that.
Really?
And I don't think there is, like, because going back to, again, how things change throughout the years. In the beginning, especially when we're in our, I should say, late adult teenage years.
Teenage years.
That, you're both ready. Yeah, you're both ready. Yeah, you're both ready. Yeah. 20s, right?
20s.
Right. You're young adult age. Yeah. You may want it all the time. Both people may want it all the time. But, when you have kids and you're into that era, it might not even be practical that you can come anywhere near every day, So the question was, what do I think? What do I think is normal?
What do you think is normal?
Normal. Well, for me, I'd be cool with it was every day, But 3 times a week is fantastic. Maybe sprinkle a little fourth time, in the week. That's
You're
nice.
Being real careful. That's good. Good.
So you get me sweating over here.
Yeah, you're so he's beating. He's beating
right.
Sweat.
Yeah. You put me on a spot like that.
Well,
normal could be, it will change with your circumstances, your body, and where you're at in your heart, body, mind.
Everybody's different. I know from a woman's perspective, if we feel good within our bodies and we feel we look good, I'm more open to being intimate more. But if I've gained a bunch of weight, if I feel a mess, if I'm stressed out at work, like all of those things, you can forget about it.
Well, even there was times where you did have more weight than you do now.
100 pounds.
And you still felt great about yourself, and you was ready.
What are you saying? What?
I got them boudoir pictures still, you know what I'm saying? When you was like 100 more pounds. Yeah, and it was on and cracking. But I receive what you're saying, which is you have to feel comfortable and great. And so I have noticed in times where your self-confidence level is up, you're ready. And there's things I could do to contribute to that. And there's some things where you have to get there and work out through what you have to work out to love yourself.
Sure.
And I would say similar to guys too, for self-confidence and is
guys don't care.
Well,
you guys do not care about what you look like when it comes to intimacy.
You didn't let me finish. You didn't let me. Yeah, we always ready. We always ready.
Yes.
Yeah.
You do not care.
Right. I just done lost my whole thought. You didn't let me. That's okay.
Because it's true.
We don't care. We ready.
Like guys could have this big old gut, like
just ready.
Just ready all the time.
Yeah.
Have a seat.
It's about what you need. Well, how can we make you feel comfortable?
Yeah.
So it's like it makes me think of that. They call it the Maslow's hierarchy of needs, right? That when You have to be in a space where all of your survival needs are met. And then the next layer on that, those needs need to be met, right? Shelter, right? Some shelter and provisions. Some need more shelter and provisions in a particular manner, but But once those are met, and it's and you have space not to be stressed, you have high opportunity as a guy for your woman to be in the mood or ready to have the conversation or to be intimate. You trying to say there?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's got to be kind of like a story, right?
It is
So
like
you take your woman through like a story, right?
for us.
Part of the intimacy is you can't just go straight in. It's go.
Some women, I don't know. That's tough because some women like that. Like that's a hard one because for me, like sometimes I got 10 minutes. Like so you got 10 minutes to like get it in.
The hookup.
Let's go so I can go to work, go about my day, and then that's the wrap. And I'm okay with it.
Okay.
It
so there's
just
different
depends.
intimacy types or there's different.
Yeah,
right.
absolutely.
That
But
one's,
with me, I'm a Gemini, so I'm all over the place anyway. But I think like with a lot of women, things there's different. You know what I'm saying? You can't do the same thing all the time.
Yeah.
So like
you can't have like a 2-hour session.
No,
like right.
That's annoying.
Yeah, right.
Like
candles and all that. You can't be doing that like every
not
single
all
week.
the time.
Right.
That's like too much.
Yeah.
So it just
sometimes you
like,
just gotta get it in. Come on, I gotta get to work.
Sometimes I can't get.
Hey,
can you just get on with it so I can go to work?
Well, like you said, us guys, we ready. Well, however you need. Nah.
Don't speak for all men because I'm in the salon and I hear all the stories.
Oh, the stories.
I hear all the stories.
Different seasons, right? That is a thing too for men. We get into different seasons. As we get older, we have to accommodate and compensate for their age. We need health practices, and that brings me into some of the practices that I've been interested in lately, over the last few years, is Qigong practices that help to keep your vitality going as you get older as a man, because they do say something about, you can fact check me on this, but it's something like every decade a man gets older, it's something like his testosterone levels drop by half, especially if you don't do anything to compensate it, whether it be health supplements or health practices, again like qigong, or something to keep your energy flowing, to keep the mana going. So that's something that especially I think as a young man, that was never told to me, that I picked up later on, like say in my 30s. But I think that's something that's important for guys to discuss amongst themselves, is what practices you're going to put in place to compensate for when you get older. And, these practices of mana and replenishing actually helps you. It helps you in all different other aspects of life, not just intimacy relations. It helps you with your energy levels, help you with sharper thinking. So, yeah, there's the practices of Mantak Chia, which is he's a Taoist, right? Thousands of years old, and they practice what they call the microcosmic orbit, which is a meditation practice to bring the mana that's in like your lower energy centers, to bring it up to your head and to circulate. But yeah, those we're getting kind of deep. That might be a whole nother talk story on that one, but
I think that needs to be with just the man, because I can't.
You can't relate.
I can't relate.
You know what I'm talking about, guys. Right?
I don't know that they do yet. They may. Some of them may have needed it for a long time ago.
Yeah, you gotta pay attention and have a plan as you get older every decade.
That goes into our next question. Like, are there specific activities or rituals that you enhance, or that you do in your intimacy? in your relationship? So any like rituals or activities? That's a good question. I don't we do any rituals activities.
Rituals, I guess more like what practices. I'm thinking that's what they mean. So with the question, so with that, it's activities. Yes, it's based off of what. Well, checking in with you, learning what you like.
Foreplay is important too. Like when you
Yeah.
have the time, fellas, don't be lazy. Okay,
Unless it's the hookup before work, real quick. You know me.
put the time.
But you got to
in.
read the room with that, right? You
Read
got
the
to learn the
room.
signs of the woman. So that's a thing again. It's a lot of times I always say, unless you specifically talk about it, a lot of times with guys, it's hard if you assume that we're just supposed to know
Yes.
what exactly
Yes.
when and what exactly that it is.
Women, you
like.
have to tell them because they
You-
could be
like,
dodo birds.
We are.
You have to
Straight
say
up.
exactly
What you
what
like.
it is that you like. Every single, oh, I like that you grab my
All the
hip there. I like
details.
to
Oh,
tell
yeah.
them,
All
and
the
then
details. Get
so that they
specific.
know, because they do dodo birds sometimes, and that's okay. But you gotta let them know. It's not fair to just assume or think that they should know. Like, oh, he should have known that. No.
How long you been with me? But the entire time I've been with you, you never actually specifically told me
Yeah,
that
I
you
have.
like this, and this. No, what I'm saying
Oh.
is you could be with the person for a long time, but if you guys never actually had the conversation, you've had, right?
Oh,
But it a lot of times the more specifics from you didn't come until way later in our relationship.
yeah, I got
Actually,
comfortable.
yeah, to actually discuss it, right? Yeah, it wasn't right. It took a while for us to grow and mature.
Well,
And then
yeah,
you're
well,
like,
yeah.
you know what? I'm not gonna be. You were like, I ain't gonna be wasting my time anymore. This fool's still guessing. Look, I like this. You need to do this. And when I'm this, nah. You know. Gotta tell us, right? And we ask, and we gotta ask the questions too, right?
Yes.
So, which is also again going back to creating the setting and the sacred space time in which you can ask those questions. And when they come to mind, guys, write them down for sacred space time. Write them down, the questions, so that when you're in the setting, you can bring it up, right? You can bring it up and you can get closer and more intimate with your lady.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's very true. Okay, so are there any misconceptions about intimacy that you've encountered in your own experiences?
Oh my goodness. I mean, we could go all over the place
I'll
with
let
that
you
one,
take it.
right? Misconceptions. I think it's important for, I don't know how deep or specific we're gonna get, but for guys to learn the woman's anatomy.
Mm.
Mm-hmm. Right. Spend time learning where and what feels good.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. The rhythm of your specific woman.
Mm-hmm.
Spend time learning with those have been misconceptions in the younger years coming through.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's not till it's the communication, but it wasn't until later again we were able to get more specific with this, because we were in a setting to where we're finally open enough. And I think it was trust too, trust to be open with each other, right there, to build that trust, and that takes time too. Right?
It does. Trust, communication. When you trust the person, then I feel that it's easier to communicate, because when I really started trusting you, that's when I was like, okay, I don't like that.
Yeah.
Can you please not? I felt comfortable enough.
Yeah.
To
and
say,
that I wouldn't react like all crazy, right? And be like,
I felt comfortable
like, okay.
enough to say, like, dude, no.
Yeah.
Like, I don't. Oh, that's nice. Or that was really good. Like
good boy. You're really good.
Good job. So, I think that once you get that trust, then communication will just kind of flow after.
Yeah, and with that, that's where even more fun can begin, and the fun can keep on going, because that's the more trust and communication you have, and then you're exploring with each other, right? The more you build the trust and communication, then that's where you can try things that you've never tried before, maybe, right? At the pace at which both of you are comfortable, right? And yeah, just take your time
And
with it.
I was just gonna say, it takes a minute to get there.
Yeah.
Cause
Take
like
your time.
the stuff I hear in the salon is like wild, and I'm like, you just met him and he's asking that, like it takes a while, like
Yeah.
to build that trust, and then when you get it, then you can start exploring and doing other things, whatever that may be. But it takes time.
But yeah, and then you make sure your lady feels safe and secure through the process, right? And even for guys, safe and secure to be
What
open.
you need to be safe and secure
I mean,
for?
when you start exploring, right?
What?
Into the uncharted, right? Don't be like, don't leave us out too from the safety and security. You know what I'm saying? The judgment, like what the hell, fool? What you said? What is that, right? Right? It's yeah, don't be there. But
Okay,
talking
I
about
guess they
taking
need to be safe and secure too.
but talking about taking your time, right? The thing that I like about the relationship we had, right, and the intimacy throughout the years was is that because we've been together for so long, we are able to explore further and deeper and into other types of intimacy. Whereas like I'm talking about in the different practices, right? So we go away like retreat style. We go away, have a sacred space time, like up in the hills or just away from everything, just reconnect. And we're able to spend the whole day or 2 days just with each other, exploring our intimacy together, to really take your time, right? And in that space, right, when you're having relations, I believe it allows you to explore the deeper levels of connections. Like it makes me think of like the energy centers, the chakras, right? That when you connect, when you have intercourse or intimacy, the first two chakras, the root and the yoni, right, the red and the orange, they automatically connect. But to get deeper levels of connections in your intimacy practices, it takes time and openness, right, to connect at the heart chakra center, the throat, the third eye. And I know, it wasn't until way, way later in our marriage, like 16, 20 years, to where we've been able to experience like different forms of pleasure and connection at the deeper level, that it took open communication to us really get to know each other on deeper levels, heart, body, mind. And I just meeting somebody and just hooking up at, off of a club or just the beginning stages, it's harder to get into like meditation practices of intimacy and sexual relationships. But there's a lot to explore on the deeper levels again, right? Some people call it like sacred sexuality, which is men and women are able to experience deeper, different kinds of orgasm that can extend or last longer, rolling. It is possible for men to have multiple orgasms at the deeper levels of connection, right?
Is that right?
Yeah, that's like the prize for when you work together in your committed relationship over the long term. And you continue to explore intimacy together and become more and more open, build more and more trust, and connect more than just on a physical level, but the body, mind, heart, the spirit, and intertwine that all in your practice. So that's the fun stuff. But yeah, so.
Well,
Yep.
it's been real.
Cheers to that.
Cheers to that.
Right? Sacred sexuality. What is it? Look into it. I'll tell you. We could talk story if you just hit me up. Right? We got a long time to talk story with that kind. Yeah. So.
And wrap it up.
Yeah. So I think that was a good starter for intimacy. Yeah. Talk story. So mahalo for talking story. If anybody got questions or any comments or input, hit us up or leave it in the comments. Okay. Mahalo for coming and talking story. We see you folks next time. Aloha. Aloha Ohana. So, in the flow of the energy of this month of aloha, this month of love, I'm going to be putting together a couples intimacy workshop, exploring practices to deepen your connection with the one you love, your kuipo, your sweetheart. So, for couples who are interested in participating, stay tuned. More information is going to be coming your way, okay? Aloha, and I see you folks soon.